And we are in storm mode because of that severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for Accomack County up on the eastern shore until 10 p.m. It also includes the northern neck. And I think the best chances for those showers and thunderstorms, at least the strong ones, will be off towards the north. Taking a look at the radar, not much going on here locally. We've got a few showers and storms back along 95, a couple up into southern Maryland. And as we've gone through the afternoon, hasn't been much here across Hampton Roads. We've seen a little bit more down through parts of northeastern North Carolina. But right now, a couple of thunderstorms, Dinwiddie County, back here just north of South Hill, and those are drifting off towards the north and east. You can see another one that is down here south of Lawrenceville. That will likely cross over into Greensville County, could eventually impact parts of Sussex County, and one other little shower that has popped up just off of Ocean View here, moving through the Chesapeake Bay between the HRBT and the Bay Bridge Tunnel. That is also drifting off towards the north and northeast, so it could affect areas of the eastern shore in the next half hour or so. On the wider view, you can see that severe thunderstorm watch box posted off towards the north. And there are some of those showers and storms that were firing up along the Pamlico Sound and the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We have a cold front located right through here that'll slowly slide south and eastward. And just based on the timing, I think that the chances for showers and storms this evening will be fairly small through much of the area. Then the front will eventually stall across Hampton Roads, and that means another prolonged period of some unsettled weather starting tomorrow. Here's Futurecast showing the 5 o'clock forecast. I think it's overdone. We said this yesterday that we thought it was overdoing the chances of rain here in Hampton Roads, and I don't expect to see that much here in the next 45 minutes or so popping up across Hampton Roads, but just a shower thunderstorm in a couple of spots. The best chances off towards the north this evening. Most of the activity will start to wind down past midnight, so we could see a few passing showers overnight. We'll start the day tomorrow with partly cloudy skies through much of the morning. I think it'll be dry, maybe just a passing shower in a few spots. Once that heat and humidity starts to build during the afternoon, I do expect to see a few showers and thunderstorms. Best chances mainly from the peninsula southward, I think, as that front will stall across the Carolinas, and that'll be the focusing mechanism, not just on Saturday, but into Sunday as well for those chances for showers and storms. And over the next several days, we're talking about showers and storms that'll likely develop more during the afternoon and evening like we typically see in the summertime here across Hampton Roads. Midday Sunday, temperatures in the low 80s. Good chance at some showers and storms across the southern half of the area, and they'll probably try to work their way back northward as we move into the afternoon. Live sky view out of the Norfolk Botanical Garden. Fairly cloudy skies, temperature of 90 degrees, though when you factor in that humidity, it feels like 99. The dew point is 74, so it is muggy out there. 89 in Surrey, 87 in Melfa, 82 in Manio, coming in at 83 in Wachapreague, 81 in Moyock, and 87 in Elizabeth City. So a shower or thunderstorm or two this evening, otherwise muggy and warm, 75 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms developing tomorrow afternoon, especially peninsula southward, 86 degrees, 73 tomorrow night with some scattered showers and storms, and the same thing on Sunday with a high temperature of 84. And we keep those chances for pop-up showers and thunderstorms, especially during the afternoon, right through next week with highs in the mid to upper 80s.